Hello TOEFL students. Today we're going to start by reviewing the 4 skills that we've already learned. Skill 1 is about subjects and verbs. Every sentence in English must have at least one subject and one verb. Skill 2 is about objects of prepositions. A preposition is followed by a noun or pronoun that is the object of a preposition. If a word is the object of a preposition, it is not the subject of the sentence. Skill 3 is about present participles. A present participle is the ing form of the verb. The present participle can be part of a verb with the be verb in front of it, or it can be an adjective. Skill 4 is about past participles. Past participles can also be a verb or an adjective. Try to memorize these skills because you need to remember this information when you're doing the TOEFL exam. One rule that can help you when doing this part of the exam is the comma rule. The comma rule says that the main subject and verb can only be separated by 2 commas. They cannot be separated by just 1 comma or more than 2 commas. For example, my class at 9 a.m., comma, which is TOEFL, comma, is full. The main subject here is my class. The main verb is. My class at 9 a.m. is full. And the subject and the verb are separated by 2 commas. The structure strategies for questions 1 through 15 are on this slide. These are very important. You want to memorize these. So let's look at the strategies. First, don't look at the answers right away. First, identify the subjects and the verbs. Remember, objects of prepositions cannot be subjects. Also remember the word order: connector, subject, verb, object. Think about how many clauses are in the sentence and then how many connectors you need. Think about if there's a reduced adjective clause. Identify what is missing in the sentence and then with this information eliminate the obviously wrong answers because you know what is missing, so you know what your answer needs to have. So remember, do not look at the answers right away. I know you might be nervous and trying to do it quickly, but the answers are confusing. They all look very similar. You want to determine what the sentence needs before you look at the answers. That is much easier. If you know that you're looking for a verb, you can eliminate the answers that do not have a verb or that have a subject and a verb when you only want a verb. So it's important to identify what is missing from the sentence before you look at the answers. Another important thing to remember is the basic organization of English sentences: connector, subject, verb, object. Also, remember that you only need a connector if you have 2 clauses or more. Okay? The last assignment, many people were looking for connectors in a sentence that only has 1 clause. Look at this box. If you have 1 clause, you have 0 connectors. If you have two clauses, then you have one connector. If you have three clauses, then you would have two connectors. Just like in these examples, the first sentence, John loves Mary, that has one clause, so there is no connector in that sentence. The second sentence, John thinks that Mary is very pretty, this sentence has two clauses. So it has two subjects, two verbs, and one connector. Now we're going to look at 3 examples. Today we're not going to look at the answers. We're just going to look for the subject and verb and identify what is missing in each sentence. Number 1. The first appeared during the last period of the dinosaurs' reign. Do we see a subject? No, we see a verb though. Appeared is a verb. So we have a verb, but we do not have a subject. That means that our answer will need to be a subject. Number 2. The earliest medicines from plants of various sorts. Okay, so we see a subject, the earliest medicines, but there is no verb. So our answer needs to be a verb. Number 3. Simple sails were made from canvas over a frame. Okay, so our subject is right here, simple sails. The verb were made. This is a passive sentence, right? Be verb and past participle. Okay, so we have a subject and we have a verb. So what we're going to write on the line is connector, subject, verb, or 0. So what that means is the answer needs to have either a connector, a subject, and a verb, those 3 things, or the answer will have something else. For example, an object of preposition or a reduced adjective clause. For today, we're going to do the same thing that we did for skills 1 and 2. Today's assignment is just to identify the subject and verb, figure out what is missing, and write it down. The next assignment, not today, will be to look at the answers. So today you are not looking at the answers, you are only going to read the sentence, identify the subjects and the verbs, then write down what is missing on the line. You do not have to guess what words, you're just going to write S for subject, V for verb, subject and verb, or if you have the formula, you'll write connector, subject, verb, /0 for everything or nothing. Okay? When you're done, submit your work to Google Classroom. For today's assignment, I already did 1, 2, and 3 for you. Now you're going to do the same thing for the rest of the questions. Identify the subjects, verbs, and then write what is missing on the line, just like I did in questions 1, 2, and 3. Good luck, and as always, if you want help or you have any questions, you can send me a message and I will help you.